Hello again. It is me. A handful of days later instead of months later. Isn't that crazy? Also, my hair is gone. Finally, I got that shit cut off. So, so much nicer. So much nicer. My neck folds are oh so much more obvious, but the amount of money I'm gonna save on shampoo now, worth it. Completely worth it. um, so this video, I'm gonna go over my my CCNA journey, just to give more details. I know I definitely yapped on the last video, but I wanted to, kind of give specifics on what I did, what my process was, the materials I used. Um, so yeah, got a list this time. I used, I guess, not a whole lot of materials, or well, it's a long list, but it's not it's not huge. I guess like you might expect. So the main things I used to learn all the content, coming from someone who had really just I have the Google certified IT professional certificate, which is real surface knowledge on anything. And then obviously I had my like years worth of experience as a help desk technician, but that is all kind of the info that I had to go on. If the video cuts out, it's because Sabrina's gonna yank out the cable. She's biting it right now. Please don't do that. Please don't do that, little girl. Anyways, so the main material I had to go over was the company I work for. They have their own CBT Nuggets subscription, and so that is what I was mainly using, or that's at least what I started off with. Little goblin. Okay, so yeah, is 90-hour CBT Nuggets course. That is mainly where I got a lot of the foundational knowledge for the course, but I did not retain it because it took me forever, and it's just so much content to go over, especially if you don't have Network Plus, or if you just have like a base, like a foundational knowledge of really what's out there. So it did cover a lot, and it had a lot of labs. Actually, a lot of the courses or skills in the course, especially the ones about configuring things, they all had a lab with I want to say, yeah, his name was Keith. But they all had like a lab for you to go through. It would load up in like a virtual machine, and like a web page to a virtual machine, and that was really good hands-on experience. It helped at least help me remember a lot of the concepts. CBT Nuggets, Boson, not NetSim, whatever the exam simulation is. That's what I got from Boson. And then I also ended up using or watching all of not all of them, but 80% of the Jeremy's IT lab, his CCNA course. I know it's a little old now. I think it came out in 2021 or something like that. But a lot of the stuff in there, actually, I would say like all of it is still pretty much relevant, except for a couple things. And then I also went over. I read both of the Cisco like official cert guides for the CCNA. These two big ass books, and that really like helped solidify my knowledge. But I used all of that, and then I also purchased the Cisco practice exam, or I don't know if it's Cisco, but whenever I like went to book my test, there's like an option. It's like, oh, do you want to buy this practice exam as well? And I did. I bought that, and I took that, and those are the materials that I used to get through it, or to eventually get my CCNA. Basically, the process that I went through, I spent like, it was February through July. That is how long it took me to get through the CBT Nuggets course. Because I watched all their videos, did all the labs. I never did the practice test. I know they have one. They have a practice test and like a big practice lab. I did not do either of those. In hindsight, I probably should have that. That probably would have eased some of my stress But yeah, I went through that, and then after I finished the course, I was like, okay, let me take the boson tests. There's four of them. At least currently there's four of them when you buy the subscription. It's like I think $100 or $90, something like that, and it gives you access to four different practice exams, and it's it's super good. It's super helpful. I'm sure if you watch any other videos about the CCNA, they'll tell you it's super helpful. Um, so that was really helpful. But what I did wrong, spoiler alert, that's all I did. I just did the CBT Nuggets course and the Boson labs, and then or Boson exams, and then I took my test, and then I failed. I did not. It beat me, beat the shit out of me. Uh, that test really fucked me up. But I think part of that is because of the way I studied for it. Obviously I took the course, but it's obviously it's a lot of content. Down from just like the physical aspect of like the cabling, like Cat fives, fiber optic cables, all that, all the way up to automation and programming with like REST APIs and like how to read a JSON file. And so that was something that I really struggled with, was retaining all that info. I'd never taken a certification test before, and so I heard it was hard, but I thought I had that dog in me. I did not at the time. I did not. Um, but yeah, it's because the whole exam, it encompasses like the whole thing, like all the content that's listed on like the exam objectives. It sounds so stupid. It's all in there. It sounds stupid to say that out loud, but at the time I was like, there's no way they're gonna ask me about the what makes up the a fiber optic cable. They do. By the way, if you don't know, it's like it's glass, like a glass coating or something like that. I don't remember the exact word. I passed, so I don't need to remember it anymore. Um, but yeah, that's basically, I went through the CBT Nuggets course, and I took the Boson exams. And where I really fucked up there is I would take the exam, and then I failed. Most people fail the Boson exams on their first try. It's a normal thing. And so I was like, okay, now let me go over all the questions that I missed and what I did wrong. And then kind of what I did was I had like a little journal, and I would write in like the questions that I missed. I would write down the question and then the answer and why it was right. And that was, excuse me, really helpful. The problem was that the way I went through it, it kind of trained me to just memorize the answers to the questions on those tests, and not to like know the concepts themselves by heart. I don't know why she does that. I pick her up every time. She's trying to look for some pizza. I had some pizza up here earlier. She smells the residue and she is greedy. Um, but yeah. That I think was my main issue, because I can take any of those Boson practice exams now. And I'll get like a 90 or something. They're kind of easy to me now. But that's because I know the questions they're gonna ask. I retook those tests a lot, and that that is helpful to like solidify that knowledge in there. But obviously the questions on the test aren't gonna be exactly the same as the questions on the real thing. So not not super good. I really needed to round out my knowledge and kind of refresh on. It was mostly the beginning stuff, because once I took the practice tests, I was like, okay, I understand all the like later tier stuff, like automation, programming, some of the wireless stuff. But all the stuff at the beginning, I forgot how to like make an ether channel. It's crazy. When I saw it on just the Boson test, I was like, I don't know how to make an ether channel. that was back in February. It's like June, and so yeah, I don't recommend doing that. What I ended up doing after that, because I took my test I took the first test at the end of July, and then I took my second test, the one where I passed, earlier this month in October 6th, to be precise. And so that is like 3 months. Technically, it's only like 2 months in between where I studied. Okay, so what I ended up doing in the 2 months after I failed it, before I took the test again, was I read through the two official Cisco certification guide books. They are large books. They're like 560 or 570 pages each, and yeah, there's a lot of info in there, but it's all important info that helped kind of round out what I already knew. So that was actually really really helpful. It was just kind of annoying to go to work, go on lunch, read the book, come back to work, leave, get home, read, and then go to bed and do that all over again. That sucked. That really sucked. I'll be real. But yeah, that helped kind of round out everything that I was kind of rough on. And then in between doing that, I was taking the Cisco, or not the Cisco, the still taking the Boson practice exams just to keep some stuff fresh in my head. And then let's see, the practice questions. The practice questions just in the book are all pretty decent. They're similar to in quality to the questions that are on the exam. And that was really helpful, especially they have another book that comes with, or that you can get in addition to those two cert guides, and it's just practice questions, and that's super helpful. I only did the practice exam, one of the practice exams in that book, and that was very helpful. But I didn't really end up going over a lot of other questions in there. I was just limited on time. I only had like a weekend or something beforehand, which you shouldn't do. I definitely think that you should take your time when you study and not try and do it on a deadline. But yeah, that is mainly what I did. And also, I have a long drive to and from work. But during my commute to and from, I would play the videos from Jeremy's IT lab. His courses, I would set it to 1.25 times speed, and I would listen to him on the way home, and then listen to him on the way to work as well. And that was actually really helpful, because usually I can get through like a video, maybe two, if the drive is extra long or if traffic's like real bad. Excuse me. And so yeah, I did that, and that was really helpful to kind of reinforce the topics that I was reading through, because the way I started it was I was already part way through Jeremy's IT course when I started reading the books, and so I was like not halfway through, but I was like a third of the way through, and so I'd already gone over some of those beginning topics, but then I was rereading them in the book, and then on the drives to and from, those would get reinforced while I was reading them, or while I was listening to them on the drive over. And then if I didn't, I'm driving, so obviously I'm not paying like 100% attention to what he's saying in the video all the time, just because you gotta be a safe driver. Use your blinkers, please use your blinkers. But it wasn't always easy to pay 100% attention to it, so it was nice that I was ahead, because then when I got to that same topic in the book, I would already be a little bit familiar with it, and then it'd just be easier to digest everything in the book. And if I could, I would recommend taking a video course like Jeremy's IT lab, or the CBT Nuggets one, just because the labs in that one are really really good. Yeah, doing those and then reading the books, just because the books are, it's reading, it's really dense, and I think they function better as a way to round out what you already know, because it's I don't know, at least that's, for me personally, that's something I really enjoyed about it. But anyways, so that's mainly what I did. And then once I'd gotten through the book, I was actually just about done with the video courses as well. And so after that, all it was left to do was take some practice tests. I had about a week between when I finished and when I was scheduled to take the test. So what I did during that week was, like I said, I took the practice questions or the practice exam in the book, in the practice book, and then also when I scheduled my exam, there's an option to purchase a practice exam with it that you can get access to for, I think that's like 30 days or 60 days. I had the test in like a week, so I got the 30-day version. And I ended up taking that I think on Sunday or Saturday, like a day or two before the test. And I was pretty confident. I'm not gonna lie, because I'd already gone over everything, and then the other practice material I used was Jeremy's IT labs, his mega CCNA lab at the like end of the course. I also went through that. That's I did a couple of his other packet tracer labs, but it was mostly stuff I was kind of rough on, that I wasn't super sure about, like hot standby router protocol and spanning tree. Those were two that I wasn't super familiar with in terms of like configuring it on like a router or a switch. And so that really helped out. And then the whole lab itself, I really underestimated how long it was going to take. He mentions in there like, hey, this is going to take a couple hours or something like that. It does take a couple hours. It took me like an entire day to finish it, because it's like, it's a big network and you're just kind of configuring everything almost from scratch. I think I had and I didn't get 100 when I finished with it. I was at 95, I think, or something like that. There was some OSPF stuff that wasn't working in there. The routes were getting populated, but it had to do with like pinging google.com. It was weird. It was like 50-50. Like half of them would come back and half of them wouldn't. I never figured out what it was. And then I messed up on hot standby router, or HSRP. I messed up on it. I gave them all the same group instead of different ones, and then I was like, okay, let me just get rid of them, add them back. And I messed up in that too. But I got everything else, and it was not gonna lie, it was kind of fun doing the big lab. I kind of enjoyed that. I kind of want to go back through it, see if I can get everything right. But yeah, definitely do some labs, because there are labs in the exam. I'm sure you already know this, but they I don't want to say they're like easy, but after I did the big like practice lab, I didn't watch Jeremy's video while I was doing it. I just kind of went at it by myself. There were like 2 or 3 spots where I was kind of unsure about how to do a couple things, and so I went through and I tried to do it myself, and then afterwards I would go through the video and then just to like check my work. And yeah, I was going through it. It was pretty kind of easy. But if you can get through it and it's kind of easy, I think you should be confident when it comes to the labs on the test, because everything he covers in that mega lab, it's all stuff that could be in the test. Also, if you look at the exam objectives on their official website, anything where it says, if you watch Jeremy's IT lab, you already know this, but anywhere where it says like configure or like know how to configure this or that, that means that you're probably going to have to lab. That's probably going to be one of the labs you're going to have to work on. And so luckily I didn't have what's not listed on there. I think hot standby router protocol isn't listed on there. I'm very glad for that, because it's a little bit of a, conceptually it was hard for me to wrap my head around. But yeah, that's mostly what I did. In terms of the stuff I did at work, that also helped supplement that, nothing. I'll be real. I didn't really nothing I did at work was really anything that would help enforce that. If anything, I would say that studying for the CCNA did help me my troubleshooting skills at work, just because, bigger brain, bigger head, bigger forehead means you can solve more problems. But yeah, that is just about it. some advice I would have for anyone going into it. Two topics that really got me were not automation, not necessarily automation, but being able to read JSON APIs and the stuff that's in there. I definitely recommend just learn as much as you can. The what they had in the book and what they had in the courses that I went over, it was really surface level, and that's, I mean, I guess stuff I saw on the test, I guess is technically surface level too. But I definitely feel like most of the all the material I went over, it didn't go as deep into JSON and like how to read that stuff as I think they should have. So definitely look out for that. And dear God, memorize all those stupid WPA 2, WPA 3 policies and what they do. Like, I know it's easier to memorize like, oh, GCMP, that's WPA 3 enterprise, and what is it, CCMP, that's WPA 2 enterprise. You need to memorize what they do, and AES, and the difference between hashing and encryption. And so those, definitely brush up on those. And what was the last thing? WLCs, the GUI. I hate it. It's on the test. Find a way to lab with that however you can. There's one in the CCNA Mega Lab for Jeremy's IT lab that you can kind of mess around with. It's packet tracer. It's limited in terms of functionality there, but yeah, I guess get as much practice as you can in with those, just so you're familiar with the interface, kind of like you'd be familiar with like going through your phone's settings or something like that, or navigating like maybe a social media site. You know how we're like, oh, if I want to get to this, I just have to go over there, click on this and that. That's what you should know, because that's the kind of stuff that's on the test. But yeah, that's about all I have to recommend. Oh. All right. You have anything to add? Sleep. Bye.